Grenada Island Top 6. From waterfalls to underwater parks. In the southern Caribbean, one island hides 6 places that shouldn't exist this close together. A beach ranked among the best on earth. A waterfall stacked 7 tiers deep in the rainforest. And beneath the waves, an army of concrete statues slowly turning into coral. This is Grenada, the Spice Isle, and most people flying over it have no idea what's waiting below the surface. 6 places define this island. Some are built for luxury, some require a muddy hike through the jungle, and one, waiting at number 1, isn't on land at all. It's underwater, and it changed how the world thinks about coral reefs. Stay to the end, because the final entry isn't just a dive site. It's one of the strangest art installations on the planet, built to save a reef that was already dying. Let's dive in. Number 6. Port Louis Marina. On the outskirts of St. George's, a natural lagoon shelters one of the most exclusive marinas in the Caribbean. Port Louis Marina holds more than 200 berths, some built for superyachts stretching past 300 feet, packed behind hills that block the worst of the hurricane season's winds. The marina sits just across the water from the Carinage, St. George's historic horseshoe-shaped harbor, so visitors can step off a yacht and be inside the capital's oldest streets within minutes. Walk the marina promenade at sunset. The Carinage waterfront lights up across the lagoon, and it's one of the best free views in St. George's. Number 5. Belmont Estate. An hour into Grenada's interior, the parish of St. Patrick, a plantation older than United States, is still working the same land it worked in the late 1600s. Belmont Estate grows and processes its own organic cocoa, the crop that gives Grenada its reputation as one of the finest chocolate-producing islands in the world. Workers still crack the pods by hand and turn the fermentation beans across wooden trays, a process barely changed in 3 centuries. Beyond the fermentory, the estate keeps a heritage museum, spice gardens, and a working goat dairy, turning a single visit into a walk through Grenada's entire agricultural history. The chocolate factory tour ends with a tasting. Try the dark bar blended with local nutmeg and cinnamon, a flavor that doesn't exist outside this island. Number 4. Grand Anse Beach. Just south of the capital, a 2-mile crescent of soft white sand curves along water so clear it looks tinted. Grand Anse is Grenada's signature beach, and it's routinely ranked among the finest in the Caribbean. The bay stays calm enough for swimming most of the year, framed by low green hills on one end and the lights of St. George's on the other. By late afternoon, the sun turns gold, the water goes still, and fishing boats head out past the reef as the sun drops behind them. The beach is quietest in the very early morning, before the cruise ship crowds arrive. That's the window for a swim without company. Number 3. Annandale Falls. 15 minutes from St. George's, a 30-foot waterfall drops into an emerald pool ringed by rainforest, making it the most accessible waterfall on the island. A paved path leads straight to the water's edge, but the real spectacle happens above it. Local cliff jumpers climb a ledge at the top of the falls and leap into the pool below, a tradition that's become as much a part of the visit as the waterfall itself. There's also a low platform beside the pool for a safer jump. You don't need to go off the top to get the same cold water rush. Number 2. Seven Sisters Waterfalls. Deep inside Grand Ithang National Park, 7 separate waterfalls drop through the rainforest in a staggered chain, each one feeding a cold, clear pool below it. Reaching them takes a 40-minute hike through bamboo groves and old nutmeg plantations along a trail that turns to sleek red clay after rain. It's a hard walk than Annandale, and that difficulty is exactly what keeps the site from feeling like every other stop on the island. Hire a local guide at the trailhead. The falls are easy to miss without one, and guides know exactly where it is safe to swim and jump. Number 1. Grenada Underwater Sculpture Park. In 2006, off the west coast of Grenada, a sculptor lowered a set of concrete human figures onto the ocean floor and created something that had never existed before: the world's first underwater sculpture park. Marina Bay had been stripped bare by Hurricane Ivan 2 years earlier. Jason D. Tyler's solution was to sink art instead of concrete blocks, human forms cast from members of the local community, built from pH-neutral cement designed for one purpose: to let coral grow on top of them. Nearly 20 years later, the park holds more than 70 sculptures spread across a protected marine area, some just 6 feet below the surface and reachable by snorkel alone. Coral now covers entire figures. Fish move through a ring of children holding hands. A man still sits at a writing desk. A newspaper article from before Grenada's revolution frozen beneath his fingers. It's since been named one of National Geographic's 25 Wonders of the World, proof that most memorable things on the island isn't on the island at all. Glass-bottom boats leave from both St. George's and Grand Anse for anyone who wants to see the park without getting wet. 6 places. 1 island. From a lagoon full of super yachts to a reef of human statues, Grenada packs more into 40 miles of coastline than islands 3 times its size. Which one would be worth the trip on its own? The comment section is open.